ready, get set, go. And these are percent story problems. And up until this point, what do you suppose I would say? If it's a percent story problem, you would do what? Just like with rates, ratios, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. What do we do with fractions, rates, ratios, whatever we do what? Somebody else. Don't make me stand. Who's that? Yeah, Mandy Marco says yes. Just draw a box. Well, children, today we kind of work outside of that, and you're not going to draw boxes, okay? You are going to look at percents a little bit differently, and you're going to look at that in an equation. Not that you still can't draw a box if you're so inclined, but this becomes a little bit, it's maybe a little easier, maybe a little quicker actually to do that. And here it is. Write this little phrase down. A percent of a whole is a part. Is that a mathematical sentence, or is that a English sentence? Does that have a subject, verb, prepositions, prepositional phrase? Is that a complete sentence?
Yes. Yes.
Sure it is. What's the verb?
Is.
What's the subject? Percent is, yeah, sure. Now, if I change my English sentence into a math sentence, okay, the word of changes to multiplication, right? A percent, that is your percent. Percent times the whole number is equals a part. Now what that simply means is this, let me just put numbers in there. If you take 50% of, let's say, 10, you are going to get, you should probably be able to tell me what that is. What is 50% of 10? It's just 5. No 500, just 5. 50% of 10 is 5. Look at it. Whole number, part of the number, part, whole thing. Because, here, let me give you a story problem. Let me shoot you with a story problem here. 32 ounces. 32 ounces is, there's that word is, 25% of a gallon. Right? How many ounces is a gallon? Which means you're just, how many ounces is a gallon? Okay, so basically, 32 ounces is 25% of a gallon, right? If I change my sentence from English words into math words, what does it look like? 32, what's the word is? Somebody just say it, please. 32 equals 25%, what's the word of?
Multiplication.
And what's my other word over here? A gallon. How would I solve that equation? Does anybody know? First things, we don't like percents when we do figuring. We either have to change them to a or a fraction. And in this case, I probably would change it to a fraction just because 1/4 is not a hard fraction to do. What if I have this equation? If 32 equals 1/4 of a gallon, how would I solve that for the letter G? Somebody asked me this question, I think, yesterday. Anytime you have a fraction in front of a letter, how do you get rid of it? Somebody, help me out. Help me out. What? Somebody say flip and multiply? Yeah. If I want to get rid of this 1/4, I just multiply by 4 over 1, because let's say all cross off. Multiply this by 4 over 1, and you end up with 128. A gallon is 128 ounces. Would you've gotten the same thing if you did out the whole boxy thing? Certainly, you'd get 128, but you shouldn't always have to draw boxes or that sort of thing. Let me give you another one that might clear up the monkey waters of your disillusionment here. By the way, write this down. We talked about this before. Tax and tip is always a multiplication problem. How many times people think that's division? You know, if you go into a restaurant and your meal costs you $40, I don't know what you bought for $40, okay, but you're supposed to leave a 20% tip. In some ways, when you're trying to figure out how much 20% is of $40, notice if I write that sentence out. How much is 20% of $40? What word do you see between those two? So to find what 20% of $40 is, you have to multiply. And again, it's however you want to do this. 20% as a fraction is, somebody? 20 over 100 reduces to 1/5. What is 1/5 of 40? I know it's tough math. $8. Your tip should be $8. So you should pay the nice little waitress gal $48, 40 for your food and 8 for the tip. But that wasn't the problem. I just wanted to write that down. So here's one. Here's a great one. Sales tax is 8.25%. What is sales tax? Wow. What is the sales tax on how much money? $18.97. And before you start this, I think I've talked about this before. If you go into the store and buy something for $18.97, you better have a little extra cash with you because that doesn't include tax. But you probably should be able to figure out what would be a reasonable answer for tax on $19. If you're paying 8% on $19 or $20, what's a reasonable amount of tax? If you're paying 8 cents, 8% means 8 cents out of every dollar, 8 out of every 100 pennies you're going to pay. What would be a reason? I mean, should you be paying $20 in tax, $15 in tax, 2 cents in tax, 100 cents in tax? What would be a reasonable, what would you say would be a reasonable guess as to how much you should pay in taxes? Now let me give you another clue here. 18 is close to 20. You probably can multiply 8 by 20, right? What's 8 times 20? Oh boy. Well, 8 times 20 is 160. Okay? So, you know these are the digits that should be in your estimate. You just have to figure out where do you suppose the decimal would go. Am I going to pay $160 in tax? Would I pay $16 in tax? Would I pay $1.60 in tax? Or would I pay 16 cents in tax? I'd say $1.60 is probably my reasonable guess. You're certainly not going to pay $160 in tax, and $16 is almost as much as the thing costs in tax. That'd almost be 100% tax. $1.60 sounds good. I could see people saying maybe 16 cents, but that seems a little low because 16 cents isn't very much. How do I figure this out? Based on the last board I just said, tax and tip is always, so you're just going to take $18.97 and multiply it by, here's a kicker, you don't want to multiply it by 8.25 because that's 825% tax. Where does the decimal go? What do you do to this to make it a decimal? This is the beauty of math here. Kate, where's it going to go?
It's behind the 8.
It already is behind the 8.
In front of the 8.
In front of the 8, if you just put the decimal here, that would be 82% tax. Where does the decimal go? How many places do you move the decimal? 2 places, not just one. You have to go 1, 2. It's 0.0825. 0.0825. And everybody's excited about doing that kind of math, right? Should we have a raise? Who's a good multiplier? I want to raise somebody. We'll put me and you on a multiply off.
Let's go, here, Liza.
Huh?
Liza.
Liza's probably already done this one. Anyways, I'll do it for you here. What? 7 times 5, 35, 45, 48, 4, 44, 4, 9, 0, what? 14, 1, 18, 19, 1, 16, 17. Did I say 17? 2, 3. 2 zeros down. 8 times 7 is 56. 5, 72, 77, 7, 64, 71, 7. We'll see if I came close. Sometimes doing this fast is not to my benefit here. You get all those digits there. Where's my decimal go? Where's my decimal go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places. I get 1.55405 cents in tax, whatever. Can I leave that as your answer? Why? Because in money we only go to hundredths of place because that's our penny. So my real answer is it gonna be $1.55 or $1.56? $1.55, which makes sense with what I said, close to $1.60 in tax. I hope I'm right. Is that what you got, Elijah? I wouldn't tell you if I wasn't right. Although it doesn't say it. Now you have an answer to that. Can they not give me an answer to that? Shaw, they say use a calculator if one's readily available. We do have one readily available, it's right there in your noggin.